Hi friends and subscribers, welcome to Parnika Tutorials YouTube channel. Today we have a guest called Anish who is working in Google company in India and he is very good at coding competitions. He got many prizes in the coding competitions and even he has secured very decent score. I should not say decent score. It is one of the best performances, such as a rank 94 and 49 in consecutive years in Gate. That is not very simple one. So even in his busy schedule, I have requested him several times to share his knowledge because his knowledge will helpful to a lot of students all over the globe. So I have requested Anish for one or two times, and even in his busy schedule, he has accepted my request. So I sincerely say thanks to Anish for accepting my request. So I welcome Anish for the Parnika Tutorials YouTube channel.
Thank you, sir. Very happy to be here.
Thank you, Anish. So can my viewers know about your educational qualification?
So I completed my schooling in 2016 from Atomic Energy Central School, Kaiga. And then I joined IIITDM Kanchipuram in 2016 and graduated with a BTech in Computer Engineering in 2020.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I came to know that IIITM Kanchipuram is one of the centrally funded institute in Tamil Nadu. Can I know the procedure to get a BTech seat in IIITM Kanchipuram?
Yes, sir. So IIITDM Kanchipuram is a centrally funded institute which is in Chennai. So the college uses the JEE main scores to shortlist and then like admit students. So I wrote JEE mains in 2016, and based on my performance there, I got a seat in computer engineering in IIITDM Kanchipuram.
That's wonderful. I came to know that you are very, very good at coding competitions. You used to participate in various coding competitions. Can I know when you have started participating in these coding competitions?
So I learned coding when I was in 10th because I had a subject in the school. So and then I came across CodeChef when I was in 12th, and then I just tried participating in one or two competitions in 12th. But I wasn't able to do very well, but I found it really interesting. But then I did not have much time to pursue that because I also had to like study for J mains and boards when I was in 12th. So then once I joined Triple ITDM Kanchipuram, I started doing it much more seriously, and then like I participated in many competitions, and then like also kept working to get better at it.
Oh, superb, superb. So, you said multiple coding competitions. What kind of programming languages the student should learn to participate in such coding competitions?
So I would suggest like learning a language like C++ or Java. What people generally do is they'll have C in their programming course, and then they'll try to use C in competitive programming. But I would suggest that that may not really be a good idea because C doesn't really have like many libraries already available. For example, C++ or Java, you can just directly go and use a queue, whereas in C you may need to like implement it before using it. People also can use Python, but the problem with Python is that it is like very slow compared to C++ or Java. And in competitive programming, like the runtime of the program is really important. So for example, sometimes it may happen that the Python program will not work because it is very slow, whereas C++ will like easily pass the test cases.
Oh, that's wonderful. So these coding competitions, are they individual coding competitions or a group-based one?
So most of the coding competitions are individual, but there are a few coding competitions that are team based. So one, for example, is ACM ICPC. So that is like a coding competition between colleges all over the globe. So there, each team will have like three members, and they'll be given like one computer, and then they are supposed to sit together, solve it, and then program this
Okay,
thing. 24.
okay, okay. So if I'm right, you have participated in various coding competitions, start from the 12th, and you would have attended several coding competitions till your BTech. So can I know which coding competition gave you the most satisfied results?
So I would mention so TechGig, which is like Times of India Group, has this competition every year called Code Gladiators. So I got fourth and fifth in 2017 and 18. So I would say that was the most satisfactory result for me, and that also like motivated me to do much better in the future. And then there's also yeah, I would also say ACM ICPC was like really interesting because that is the only competition where I participated as part of a team, and that's like a completely different experience as like compared to participating individually.
Okay. Then can I know what was your performance or your ranks in these coding competitions?
So so there are mainly three or four websites for these coding competitions. So one of them is CodeChef. So on CodeChef, I was six star by the time I was in third year. That is like around top 200, 300 in India, or yeah, around top 200 or 300 in India. And then there's also one more website called Code Forces. So on that I was a master, and at that time a master would be something like top 50 or top 100 in India. And then on other other competitions like Google Kickstart, for example, I got like top 60, 70 in the world a few times.
Oh, super. Now, can I know how you have managed these coding competitions and studying various courses in Tripoli and Kanchipura?
So the main thing is I used to find these coding competitions like really interesting. So that so like getting better at it or like participating in a competition didn't really feel like work to me. It was like a game for me. So so generally what like if one doesn't really find something interesting, then they'll feel that it is taking too much time. Whereas if one finds something really interesting, then they'll be like motivated to do it, and they'll feel that it is really fun. Like they'll feel like the time passed very quickly. So in my case, it was like that. So I used to do like every day I used to do competitive programming, and also like courses mainly based on lectures, and then when exams are near I used to prepare. So yeah, based on
Okay, that's wonderful. And you have participated in several coding competitions. Maybe everyone will not perform well in all these coding competitions. One day you may not perform well. So, what do you suggest for the students who say that initially they will not get good ranks? What they should do?
Yeah, so this is one thing that I see a lot of people doing. So they'll participate initially, like with a lot of enthusiasm. They may not do really well. They may be unable to solve a problem, or they may solve only one problem, and then they'll get like demotivated and they'll just quit it and like never do it again. So like that's like bad. That's like the wrong attitude. So it happens with everyone. So even in my case, I think on Code Forces you can if someone is interested they can check. So for in the first five contests, I think totally I was able to solve only two problems. But the main thing is to like not get demotivated and then just learn lessons from that. For example, like if you're unable to solve a problem, then after the contestants you can like learn how to solve it. So they have editorials for each and every problem. So learn from that and then like get better at the topic which that problem was from. So that in the future, if you come across a similar problem, you won't face any issue. You will be able to solve it very easily.
Okay, that's wonderful. So, I think you are now working in Google. So, can you know how these coding competitions have helped you to get job in Google?
So yeah, so well, usually so Google in the case of Google, so Google has this competition called Google Kickstart. So I participated in it many times and I got like good ranks. So and based on that and my performance in various other competitions, HR representative from Google emailed me and invited me to apply for a opportunity that they had open in Bangalore and Hyderabad. And then they had like an initial online interview, and based on the performance in that they called me for like further interviews at their office in Bangalore.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, you said you had an online interview and then again in their office you had several rounds. What usually the Google will concentrate means what kind of questions a person can expert in Google interviews?
There was one online interview and five on-site interviews. So all the six interviews will be 45 minutes in length, and then in case of online interview, it will be mostly basic questions. So the aim of the online interview is to just like screen the candidate and make sure that they are fit for on-site interviews. And then once one qualifies the online interview, in the case of on-site interviews, there will be like four technical rounds and one HR round. So all technical rounds, it will be mostly focused on problems like similar to the ones in the coding competitions. So every problem will be like based on data structures and algorithms, and the candidate has to like solve it and then explain the solution and then like write the program for it. And then based on the interaction, they may have further questions. In the case of HR round, it will be mainly on like the projects that you have done, your educational background, like normal, based on the resume that the candidate has submitted.
Okay, so you said they will look at the resume. So, what kind of things a student from in India who is studying BTech in various engineering colleges or somewhere, what he should do to build up his resume?
So I would say, so having some good projects would be really good, and then also having some internship experience at some reputed company will like give them some confidence in the candidate. So that will, so yeah, that is really helpful. And also, I feel that so what the companies generally look for is good problem solving skills. So having good ranks in like various coding competitions kind of shows that that candidate has good problem solving skills. So that will be like a really good plus to have.
Oh, that's superb. So, if I'm right, I came to know that even you got job opportunities from other companies such as Microsoft and one startup. Can you elaborate about them?
Yeah. So I did an internship in Microsoft in May 2019, which was the end of my third year. So based on my performance during the internship, I got a pre-placement offer from Microsoft. So yeah, the internship was 2 months, and then so in my college we have to do like 5 months internship. So I did a 3 month internship at a startup called Motork in Chennai. So again, based on my performance there, I also got a pre-placement offer from them as well. And then I got an offer from Google. So in the end, I decided to go with Google.
Oh, super. Now you are working in Google from last 1 year. How this coding competition experience is really helping you to work in Google?
So in coding competitions, one needs to be like really good and really quick at implementing the solution. So uh, in the competition, the main thing is to find the solution, and implementation will be secondary. So one will need to be like really good at it. So that will kind of help during the like day-to-day job as well. For example, like if one needs to implement something, then this experience will help there because in preparing and getting better at coding competitions, uh, the person would have like honed their like implementation skills. So like they will be really fast at implementing and also quite efficient at implementing things. So that will be really helpful. Apart from that, so far at least, I have like not really had any major overlap with the other skills during day-to-day job.
Okay. And if I'm right, lots of students have confusion that should we learn machine learning and deep learning? Should we learn basic C, C++, Java, or should we learn the web development courses related? There will be a lot of confusion and they will try everything. Then they will not be good at all these things. So finally, they will lose the confidence. For such kind of students, what will be your suggestions?
So I would say, so what I feel is that no matter which thing that they choose, machine learning, web development, or backend, whatever they choose, I feel that there are really good opportunities at people who are like good at them. So what I would suggest is like exploring everything, but like not trying to become good at everything. So explore everything, find like find what is most interesting to you and then focus on becoming really good at it.
Okay. So in computer science, there will be several subjects like computer networks will have, operating system will have. Lot of students will say that we'll not study these subjects very seriously. Instead of that one, we will learn programming languages to get the job. Is it true that if we go very good at programming language, we'll get a job? If we does not study these core courses, it's not a problem. Is it true?
No, I don't think that is true. So even though all companies will focus on programming and like data structures and algorithms, they'll also ask some questions that will be based on the other subjects like operating systems, database, computer networks. So even if one person is like really good at problem solving but doesn't know anything about operating systems or some other subject, then they may get rejected because like so what they're looking for is like an all-rounder. They don't want someone who's just good at programming. They need like people who are good at everything or at least know something about everything. So I don't
Okay.
think it's a good idea to like skip the other subjects.
Oh, super. Yeah. I hope the students all over the India will take your suggestions in a positive direction. And even I came to know that you have secured very good ranks in GATE exam for consecutive years. Like in first year you got 94 rank, in second year you got 49 rank. Can you elaborate about it?
Yes, sir. So I wrote GATE in my fourth year. So then I got so that was 2020. Then I got rank 94, and then I also wrote GATE again in 2021, and I got rank 49. So yeah, so basically I think so in 2021 at least, like I had prepared a lot for 2020 gate and that kind of helped me in 2021 as well. Like while doing job it is kind of difficult to prepare for these extra exams. So what I would say is like that helped me here as well, that and like courses and all that, like college courses.
Okay. So usually people will say that we need to go for coaching centers to get a good rank. How you prepared, or have you done self preparation, or have you joined in any coaching center, or what you have done to get such good ranks?
So in 2020, when I wrote GATE, so then so in 2019, I used to go to, so in our college, we had this time coaching. So I used to go to that. And then, yeah, that used to be like not very rigorous. That used to be like every weekend we would have some courses. So yeah, I used to go to that, and then I also so they also provided test series. So yeah, I prepared from that. So they provide like material and test series, and then from that, and then nowadays like as you all know, like there are lots of great material online as well. So for example, your channel also. So I yeah, so basically from that and online sources is from where I did.
Okay. So you got good ranks in GATE. Maybe you would have saw my videos in Parnika Tutorial YouTube channel. How you rate those videos compared to other competitors? How you feel them? Are they worthy? Are the students should look at those videos?
Yes, sir, they are good. I think that they will be really helpful in get preparation.
Okay, thank you. And a lot of students will have a confusion. I am parallelly preparing for placements. I want to try for this GATE exam. I will go for only 2 months, 3 months preparation, or I have 6 months preparation. Is the 6 months is sufficient? What is the right time period to succeed in GATE exam?
So I would say it kind of varies from student to student. So if someone is like really good and doing really good at the college courses and like they have everything clear from the college courses itself, then in that case maybe like 6 months or like 3 4 months would be enough. But in other case that may not be the case. So I would say like just preparing for placements and not focusing on gate. Like if they want to write gate, then that would not really be useful. So I would say that preparing for GATE would also help in placements, as I said before. Like companies also look at other subjects. It's not just programming and data structures. So yeah, I would say around 6 months should be enough. So basically, I would suggest like preparing and also like practicing by taking some tests and not like going to the exam directly, because practicing will like help in coming like helping finding the weak areas, and then one can focus on getting better at.
And several students will request me like suggestions, all these things, and even they will have a doubts. Sir, should we prepare one course, then we should write some test series, or should we complete the entire theory, then we should practice? What is the right way of preparing for the GATE exam?
I feel that like one should be at least knowledgeable about every subject, but it's maybe not necessary to know every particular detail in every subject. So I would say like waiting till the end and like waiting till completing every subject is probably too late. But also like completing one topic and then taking tests, that might be like too much. Like then in that case like one may end up wasting too much time like just taking tests, and then in the end they may not be able to cover all the subjects. So what I would suggest is like at least going over all the subjects and then taking the test, and then that test will like help you figure out which topics you should like focus on. Like if you are already good at programming or data structures or some subject, then you may not need to read more on it, and you'll also do well in the test in that case, and then like you can focus on which area you did really badly in the test, and that should like help.
Okay. You said the coding competition really helped you to get internships in Microsoft and startup, and even you got the job opportunity in Google. How does the coding competition really help you in securing good rank in GATE exam?
So so since all coding competitions like are based on data structures and algorithms, and also programming will be involved, so I didn't really have to prepare anything for those two subjects. Like I could just go to the exam, pretty much go to the exam without any preparation for DSA and programming, which is DSA is actually kind of quite big, so I kind of could just skip the whole thing. So I got like extra time for other subjects. And also, although like the coding competitions won't really involve the other subjects, they'll have some overlap at least. Like it will help in maths, because for coding competitions also one would need to be good at probability and things like that. So that will really help there as well.
Okay. And one more thing, like you are very good at coding competitions. Maybe you would have got very good CGPA during your BTech, and you are very good at GATE. How you balanced all these things?
So in my case, like I didn't feel like competitive programming was like a extra job or like extra course that I'm taking. So I really enjoyed doing that. So it was like a game to me. It was like a hobby which I would like spend my free time on, and then in the remaining time I would focus on courses. So like I didn't really have to balance. Like since that was like a hobby, I kept doing it whenever I found free time. And then courses anyway, I have to prepare for tests and stuff. And then in gate was like last 6 months of like the previous 6 months before the exam I started preparing. And since I like had done well in like courses, and since I also had to like I could skip like preparing for programming and data structures, like that gave me extra time and I was able to do that.
Okay. So you are a brilliant student. You started coding right from the 10th class. But not all students are very good at programming. And some students will say that we are a mechanical student, we are a civil student. We no need to be focused much on coding. For such kind of students, what do you suggest?
I would say like being good at coding will really help, because nowadays like in coding like there's lots of job opportunities available. So one can probably what I would suggest is one can try learning any programming language like C++ or Java, and like learning doesn't, I don't mean like know everything in the language, just enough to at least program or implement whatever they want to implement. and then they can try like solving problems on like on various competitive programming sites. So if they find it interesting, then they can definitely pursue it, and I feel that that will be really helpful. If not, then they can also explore other areas in computer science like machine learning or web development and such areas.
Okay. So you have very vast experience in coding, work, doing job in good companies and internship. What your suggestions for the students who recently joined BTech in all over the India?
So what I've seen usually happens is students generally spend the first year just learning the language. They'll say that they'll first learn the language and then only they'll start solving problems or looking at any other thing, for example. But what I feel is that that will, like, I feel, waste some time. So what I would suggest is, while you're also learning a language, just explore other areas. Maybe try solving some problems, and find if you find it interesting, you can continue, or you can explore like machine learning. Python is especially easy to learn, so people can explore that. Basically, what I mean is, don't wait till the end of first year to start doing.
Okay. Can you know your hobbies?
When I was in college, like, I used to mainly do competitive programming and like other normal stuff like watch YouTube and all. Nowadays, like, I don't really find much time to do that, because like from Monday to Friday I'll be working, and then like I feel like relaxing on Saturday and Sunday. So nowadays I've like started playing chess online, and that's mainly what I'll be doing.
What is your future goal? Because you have achieved a lot of things till now.
Uh, I Yeah, I don't really have a future goal, so I just want to basically do well at my job, and yeah, basically see where that takes me.
Okay. Beautiful interaction with you. And I hope this interaction really help the students who are working in the similar direction. Any final words from your side? Anything if I miss?
Yeah, I don't think you missed anything. Basically, I just want to say that I feel that people should at least try solving some problems on various things. I feel that that will really help, and if they find it interesting, only then like they should pursue it. Otherwise, they can also look at other things. Yeah.
Okay. After interacting with you, even I came to know that usually BTech students or any students, they will look at coding competition as one pole, gate exam is another pole, clearing the subjects, core subjects in mid exams and semester exam, they will look at another pole. Placement preparation is another pole. They will say that all of them are not connected. We will concentrate one thing. But after interacting with you, all these are connected components. If you are doing well on one and other, it will help you to clear another pole.
Hmm.
Am I right? Is this is correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. So all of them have at least some overlap. So being good at one will definitely help in the others as well.
Okay, it's really wonderful experience, and whatever the suggestions or whatever the things you have shared regarding the coding competition, how to get an internship in Microsoft, how to get a job in Google, these kind of interaction is really helpful for the students, and it is really needed in this COVID time. I hope whatever the interaction we did for last 30 minutes, it will help all the students. If any points or if any questions I forgot to ask, if you have any doubts, you want to interact with Anish, you can share those questions in the comment section. Either me or Anish will try to clear those doubts. Thank you once again, Anish. In your busy schedule, thank you for accepting my request. Thank you once again. It is my pleasure to have an interaction with you. It's a wonderful interview, and all the suggestions will be really useful. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. It was really fun, and thank you for inviting.